While those in the mainstream media on both sides of the political spectrum continue to paint a picture for their viewers that is all roses and sunshine about the next 2 weeks, behind the scenes, especially in military intelligence circles, there are people lying awake at night wondering if we're actually going to have a country in 2025. Because the truth of the matter is this: no matter who wins, half the country is going to have a psychotic break. They're not going to be able to take it anymore, and maintaining law and order and just keeping basic services running is going to be, perhaps this time, beyond the power of the federal government. That's what they're worried about. And it's a result of a very well thought out and creatively executed dark horse propaganda campaign by a foreign actor. This is what keeps folks in the alphabet agencies right now in America up at night. The idea that a foreign actor could take advantage of the unrest that is coming, it's inevitable, to make inroads all around the world. And once that ball starts rolling, it's over. Now, these might be the pictures you see very, very soon. Because there are people who are just done with and tired of living in fear of the unknown. One way or the other, they want some kind of satisfaction, some kind of end to all of this that has change to it. And what do we know? As much as they talk about change, never really happens, does it? Now, as always, before I forget, 2 minutes in, God bless everyone. Thank you so much for showing up, Florida Maquis Patreon channel. We're actually going to talk about that foreign actor. We're going to talk about who is really responsible for this and why so many people have heard conflicting messages but reacted the same way. And some have heard the same messages and reacted different ways. Now, I know that sounds very complicated. That's why we talk about it over the Florida Maquis Patreon channel. Yes, you can tell the exact same message to two different groups of people, and they'll react in opposite ways. And you can tell different messages to two different groups of people, and they'll react the same way. It's all psyops. It's all psychological operations. If you'd like to join us over there, we got 4 different levels. Now, recently we put up a $5 video, $5 a month video. We had a $1 a month video. Unit commanders, brigade commanders, stand up, stand by. We are going to be taking it to the next level. So if you're at the $10 and $15 level, keep your eyes open. Those videos are coming this week. And believe me, they're going to be something that you probably don't want to hear, but it's just the reality. Nobody likes to receive information that makes them feel powerless or makes them feel like there's nothing they can really do. You can't really control circumstances around you, but you can control how you react to them, and that's going to be the key. That is really going to be the key when, not if, when everything falls apart. Half the country is going to have a psychotic break. Because I want you guys to think about something critically for a minute. If you go over to Fox News is just glowing coverage of how great Donald Trump is doing. And oh my goodness, there's all these disparate groups. We got black people supporting him. We've got Latinos supporting him. And all of these, even the Democratic candidates are now defecting. And oh gosh, it's going to be so great for Donald Trump. So that's what they're telling the people on the right. Now, that's great for advertising. That's great to draw a bunch of eyeballs in and sell ad revenue. But what it has the unintended effect of doing is making a group of people who think that elections don't matter want to stay home. There's a huge group of people out there right now on the right, and they're in every comment section on every one of my videos. Selected, not elected. If voting mattered, they wouldn't let you do it. All of these different things. And after what happened in 2020, they're done participating. So when you say how great Donald Trump's doing, even though they may support him, they're not going to go vote. Oh, he's got it. He's got it in the in the bag. It's over. He's going to crush her. It's over. Nobody's supporting Kamala Harris. Okay, so that's how they're going to react. Now, when you say the same thing, which is exactly what's happening over on the left side of the spectrum, to that audience, that actually inspires them to go vote. People that thought, oh, Kamala Harris, oh, she's just cringe, and oh, that doesn't seem like she's qualified, and she's not prepared, and I don't really know. But when you tell them how great Donald Trump's doing, and Donald Trump might come back, her only qualification needs to be not him. I don't care how bad she is, we can't have Donald Trump come back. He's a threat to democracy. I don't care how bad she is, we got to get out and vote for her. That same message of Donald Trump doing great makes two different people do two different things. And that's what's happening right now. Fox and CNN are actually in collusion. They're saying how great Donald Trump's doing, and CNN is saying how bad Kamala's doing. What this has the net intended effect of doing in concert is keeping conservatives from voting and encouraging liberals to vote. It's all about the psychology. And make no mistake, they have new technologies they didn't have some years ago right now. And what we might see in cities, big cities across this country, might surprise a lot of folks. You see, I know there's folks already typing in my comments saying, don't you know that it was Franklin Delano Roosevelt that said, if in politics, nothing happens by accident? It's all a plan. It's all a plan. If it happens, you can bet it was planned that way. Presidents are selected, not elected. Franklin D. Roosevelt, Democrat, president, said this. And then they could add in all the stuff that Kennedy said about the Illuminati, deep state, New World Order, shadowy group of figures, all this kind of stuff. And that just encourages that group of people just to step away and say, I'm done. I'm done. Voting is the adult version of writing a letter to Santa. Einstein said the intuitive mind is a sacred gift, the thinking mind, the rational mind, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. The ability to think outside of the box. Or, right now in our world, the ability to think, period. The idea of being led about by one emotion to the next emotion, to the next emotion, to the next emotion, and being under the delusion that you're thinking is really what I think the Bible speaks of in the Great Delusion. But here's a great example. Those of you who are wondering, gosh, should I go sign up over at the Florida Monkey Patreon channel? I just, I don't know if I want to do that or not. Here's a great example of that type of content. Outfoxed, United States percent of primetime cable news viewers. It shows, of course, starting over here in 1997, this meteoric rise of Fox News and the girls wearing next to nothing. And all of a sudden, wow, look at this. Look at this. Look at how much better they're doing than CNN and MSNBC. What happened? Why did all of a sudden, right around the time Trump got elected, why did MSNBC rocket up in ratings? That's interesting. And why did Fox News around the same time dip in ratings? Well, the overall story is this. What happens when people get older? Virtually every person who has ever lived becomes more conservative, moves farther to the right compared to the rest of the population. Most liberals are younger, and younger people don't watch the news in prime time. They've got all sorts of other shows they're watching. So, of course, when you have a bunch of old guys sitting in their recliners after a hard day of work, and they click on the news, and they're like, here's this twink over at MSNBC, and here's this lightweight over at CNN. Oh, my goodness, look at that girl's skirt on Fox News, and man, listen to what they're saying. That's exactly what what do you think's going to happen? It's exactly what happened. And now they're telling everybody that no matter how they vote, What you're doing is voting for half of the country to have a psychotic break about the results. That's just the reality. It's not going to matter. Say what you want about either Kamala Harris, say what you want about Donald Trump. Neither one of them is the great uniter. If anything at all, they have been two of the most divisive candidates we have ever had. I mean, she and her ilk over on the left have these California progressives have pretty much come out and said that if he retakes power, that there will be no democracy left in the country. And folks on the right, if Kamala Harris takes power and continues Biden's path, that economically speaking, we will no longer be relevant on the world stage, which is happening faster and faster, more because of the weaponization of the US dollar than anything else. But one way or the other, if Trump loses twice, you know it as well as I do, there are people out there who are going to snap. And they are going to snap like a twig. They're going to say, I can't take it anymore. That's it. Every one of their worst fears is going to come true. And if she doesn't win, these people on the left, if you think the kicking down of the statues in 21 was bad and the drag queen library's back, just wait. Just wait. These people took over 2 cities, 3 really. Seattle, Portland, and in Minnesota for a while after the whole, well, I don't even want to say that word, but the whole event in Minnesota. I'll let you guys try to remember what happened back in 2021, that era. Minnesota, Washington, Portland. Burning down cities, St. Louis, California. Burning down cities, and they didn't get their way. Burning down cities. Bringing business to a screeching halt. Ransacking businesses with impunity. And that was 4 years ago. Both groups have had a chance to stew and boil and simmer. And in 2 weeks, it's not going to be over, believe me. There's going to be all sorts of this was contested, and I'm not going to certify that, and Hamilton electors this, and faithless elector that, and all this, believe me. People are just going to snap. Because why? Because people are caught up in their emotions about this. To see how people react with Mr. Trump being around and almost coming to a point of tears and trembling and just ridiculous. And, you know, with her and all of these folks from the Hollywood and the Taylor Swift crowd and all this kind of stuff. Nobody's rational at this point. Nobody is rational, and it's not by accident. I know a lot of people think this was, you know, something that, you know, America was, you know, destined to have at one point or the other. It's been coordinated. And the strangest thing is that there's a whole bunch of people in America who would rather look to Washington, D.C. than look to the real bad actor that has been orchestrating this using the internet for years and years and years and years. Here's a hint. Drone swarms. Look up drone swarms and look who's known for them. So I will leave it there. Once again, God bless. Thank you, everyone. Very, very much appreciate all of your support over at Patreon. You guys are now standing in the breach. The Patreon crowd is now what's actually keeping the YouTube crowd present. It used to be the other way around. I had a YouTube channel, and then on the side, I kind of had a Patreon channel. Now Patreon is actually the one standing everything up and allowing there to be YouTube videos. That's how much it's switched. And that's because of you guys. God bless every one of you. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. Lift each other up. like, share, subscribe. And hey, if you're on the fence, $1, $5, $10, $15 a month, whatever, it's fully refundable. If you go there, pledge whatever, 3 days from now, what a bunch of hooey. Florida Maquis is nuts. He's absolutely a moron. Money right back. Just like that. You've got 90 days to do that. You've got until the middle of January, almost the Super Bowl, really. We'll be in the NFL playoffs, deep in the NFL playoffs, by the time you would have to actually make a decision. And you could get all your money back. So, once again, whatever God puts on your heart, God bless. Pray for each other. Pray for me, I'll pray for you. Lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.